Welcome, everybody. Please stand if you are able for our first song.
Everybody up.
Welcome, welcome to our community. Did you know you're one with God for eternity? Welcome, welcome to our community. You're not a stranger anymore. Now you're family. Welcome, welcome to our community. Did you know you're one with God for eternity? Welcome, welcome to our community. You're not a stranger anymore. Now you're family. You're not a stranger anymore. Now you're family.
Good morning. Hey, Brad. Brad's in the house today. So glad to see everyone's smiling faces as people are coming in and getting their coffee and getting settled. So we begin this morning with our tradition that we've taken on of sharing the signs and words of God's peace with those of us around us. And so we begin by saying them together. Shalom.
Shalom.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Pas.
Paz.
Peace be with you.
And also with you.
So now you can turn to your neighbor and greet them with your chosen salutation, if you wish. I'm not hearing you.
We're good.
Let's hear that. Shalom. Peace be with you. Peace. Okay, are we done with that? My name is Reverend Michelle Vargas, and it is my joy and honor to welcome you this morning to Unity of Monterey Bay, a beloved community co-created with love and intention that welcomes all people, all races, nationalities, cultures, and religions, whatever your immigration status, sexual orientation, gender identity, family configuration, and/or ability. And whether you're here with us in person or joining us virtually, we know that love knows no boundaries and that we are one in spirit. As a purpose-driven church, Unity of Monterey Bay is an inclusive spiritual community committed to co-creating an environmentally sustainable, spiritually fulfilling, socially just, and compassionate human presence on this planet. We celebrate our oneness, and we honor the God of each of our understanding, affirming the innate good and that divine essence that we know is within each and every individual. So will you please join me now in our statement of faith? There is only one presence and one power in the universe, God the good, expressing as intimate God beside us, inner God being us, divine love in action. And so it is. So as we allow this knowing to serve to awaken us to the benefit of all living beings, share with prayer by the Lakota chief Yellowlark. Whose voice I hear in the winds, and whose breath gives life to all the world, hear me. I am small and weak. I need your strength and wisdom. Let me walk in beauty not to be greater than my brother or sister, but to fight my greatest enemy, myself. Always ready to come to you with clean hands and straight eyes, so when life fades as the fading sunset, my spirit may come to you without shame. And I say that prayer with the deepest respect for Native American spirituality. So let us affirm together now. Thank you, God,
for this most amazing day. Miracle follows miracle, and wonders never cease.
As we do each week, it is our time that we celebrate and bless our children, even though we don't have them in the sanctuary with us anymore. We can hold those children in our own community, in our hearts, the children in our families, all those grandbabies I know some of y'all have, the children in our neighborhoods, our communities, and all around the world, and also that our own inner child that lives within each and every one of us. Opening our hearts wide and seeing these dear ones protected and resilient, creative and evolving, joyous and loved, as we join in our heartfelt blessing.
We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you just the way you are. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it
wave of gratitude. With a fullness of heart, we say yes to it all, embracing, claiming, and knowing the divine Christ Spirit expressing in, through, and as us. And so now with a final exhale, we say, thank you, God. Now fully centered and transformed by the power of Spirit, we enter into our lesson and meditation time with today's daily word.
And the word is flow. The words I speak flow from infinite wisdom. As I picture a crystal clear stream rushing down a steep mountain slope, I also see it gathering in still pools, calm, deep, and life-giving. This image reminds me that my words and actions flow from a peace that passes understanding, nourished by divine good. Open to this infinite presence, my heart is steadied and my mind is focused. The words I speak and the choices I make become rich and meaningful. They are not surface ripples, but carry the depth and power of spiritual truth. As water flows from mountaintop to coastline, the presence of Spirit flows into every part of my life. Divine love pours into human experience. I am both the rushing waters and the deep pools, and from this stream of wisdom, I speak words that give life. And from scriptures, the words of the mouth are deep waters. The fountain of wisdom is a gushing stream. Proverbs 18:4.
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. And may we be happy.
In witness to the wisdom of the many paths to the sacred, we read from 4 sacred traditions on this morning's topic, Beauty is God's Love Language. From Sufism, that which God said to the rose and caused it to laugh in full-blown beauty, he said to my heart and made it 100 times more beautiful. From Buddhism, to be beautiful means to be yourself. You don't need to be accepted by others. You need to accept yourself. When you are born a lotus flower, be a beautiful lotus flower. Don't try to be a magnolia flower. From Judaism, he has made everything beautiful in its time. And from Christianity, for God's invisible attributes, namely God's eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly perceived ever since the creation of the world in the things that have been made. Romans 1:20.
When I give to you, I give to me.
How's everybody doing this morning? Y'all are a little quiet. I always get nervous. Like, what's going on out there? Are you awake? Yeah? All right. It's all good. Well, I think most of you have figured out by now that I love to hike. And thanks to this amazing collagen powder that Kay has me on, my knees are allowing me to continue to hike. So if you have knee problems, see this one. She's got the ticket. I love to hike. I've always loved to hike. I love being out in nature, as you know. I love walking on a beautiful trail. The physical exercise makes me feel so good. The fresh air invigorates me. And I love to see the beauty of God's creation. Sometimes when I'm hiking, I think a lot. Like all the oxygen starts to get to my brain, and I start having like a lot of really creative thoughts. In the past, I've like pretty much written entire sermons while hiking. I pull out my phone and I use the voice memo record thing, and I get home and I'm like, there it is. It's like I just have to tweak it a little. And there's my whole, because I don't know, is it the oxygen to the brain? Is that what it is? Or the rhythmic nature of the walking or the inspiration of the nature? But I get a lot of thoughts. And so I think it was about 2 weeks ago, Alexander and I were hiking at Garland Park in Carmel Valley. And I was in one of those spaces that I'm often in where I'm just thinking that every single thing I encounter is just beautiful. Do you have those days? I hope you do. So when we were there that day, it's like the Carmel River that we crossed to get to the trailhead was just so stunning. And the blue sky that you get out in Carmel Valley with just a few of those little wispy clouds was just so beautiful. Those old ancient oak trees with the craggy limbs and the Spanish moss hanging down. Everything was just so beautiful to me. And so as the oxygen was getting to my brain, I started thinking about nature and about creation and about beauty. And I started to wonder, why is nature beautiful? I know, you probably don't have these bizarre thoughts, but I do, so here we are. Like, why? Like, what? Sometimes the beauty of nature seems so over the top that I'm like, is it really an evolutionary thing, or is God just like showing off, you know? And so I just wonder, why is it so beautiful? Why do I find a wildflower so beautiful, or an old oak, or a river? And when God created the natural world, why did God make it so darn beautiful? Well, usually when I'm hiking and I ask a question like that, pretty quickly I get the answer. And the answer came to me as a sort of like little mini epiphany, and it was this: beauty is God's love language. That's what I got. Beauty is God's love language. Most of you are probably familiar with the book that came out many years ago about love languages, right? The idea that we all have a preferred language through which we best receive and also give love, right? It's like our preferred one, the one that works the best for us. So for some people, it's acts of service. For some people, it's physical touch. For some people, it's words of affirmation. Do you guys know what your love language is? Mine probably has something to do with Mexican food. I'm sorry. It probably does. Do you know what your love language is? It's that one that just gets you the best, right? So it's the way that we are best able to give and receive love. And so it struck me that beauty is God's love language. Beauty is the language through which God expresses God's self and communicates with us and with creation. But what exactly is beauty? Because we tend to think of beauty as being really subjective, right? What one person finds beautiful, another person might not find beautiful. But I started to wonder, is there a type of beauty that transcends all of that subjectivity? Like a universal beauty that we all seem to recognize and that moves us. Do you think there is? I think there is, right? There are certain things that we all seem to find very beautiful. Beauty is closely connected, I'm finding, with wonder and awe. And also a feeling of being moved emotionally, of feeling inspired, right, by what we're feeling. So it's not just, oh, that's pretty. That wouldn't be the kind of, like, maybe capital B beauty that I'm talking about. I'm talking about that beauty that moves you. In unity, we talk about God being made up of divine ideas. And divine ideas are like these broad qualities. They're sort of like archetypal categories of things. Life, love, wisdom, understanding, power, strength. And you might notice that these overlap with our 12 powers. But I believe there are others that go beyond the 12 powers. Things like joy and beauty. And sometimes these big ideas, these divine ideas, are difficult to describe, but generally we understand them as being these big ideas, right? Beauty, joy, divine ideas. Even if we can't describe them exactly, we know, we have a feeling, we understand that they exist. So I believe that beauty is one of those. And I believe that beauty is one of the essential qualities of God. It's part of the innate nature of spirit. Our second unity principle, as well as, of course, the Bible itself, tells us that we human beings are made in the image and likeness of God. So if beauty is an essential quality of God, then it must also be an essential quality of us as human beings. And it seems to me that we humans have this ability to recognize beauty precisely because it is part of our own essential nature. Right? Beauty recognizes beauty. If we didn't have that as part of our essential nature, as one of our innate qualities, we wouldn't be able to recognize beauty in the world. So when we see beauty in God's creation, there's like this recognition there. We recognize that beauty as an expression of God's essence, and therefore as an expression also of God's love. One of my favorite things that I've said many times that Father Richard Rohr says is that God loves things by becoming them. I love that. It explains a lot of things to me. God loves things by becoming them. So creation is inherently an act of love by the Creator towards its creation. And by extension, the creation of beautiful things is also an expression of God's love for its creation. So, to answer my own question, why did God create beautiful things? Because God is beauty. Just like God is life, and God is love, and God is wisdom. Or to put it more simply, God makes things beautiful in the natural world so that we can recognize and understand those beautiful things as being expressions of love from God. So I believe that when I'm hiking and I see an ancient oak tree and I just find it so stunning, I think it's because that is God expressing God's self to me. That's why I find it so beautiful. Right? So in a sense, it's God speaking to me, or speaking to all of us, or speaking to creation. So what if, when we see those beautiful things, what if God is saying, here I am, look at me. I'm here in this oak tree. Recognize me as beauty. Well, God was definitely speaking to me through beauty this past Friday when Alexander and I went hiking in Big Sur. And because I have the stage today, I'm going to indulge myself in showing you a few of the photographs I took. These are things that struck me as beautiful. Oh, and I have the power of the clicker. We all recognize that as beautiful, right? Our beautiful Big Sur coastline in the evening. The sunset. You'd be hard-pressed to say that wasn't beautiful, right? The wildflowers. I think it's like mustard on one side and lupin on the other. Oh. All I did was photograph it. God made that, y'all. I mean, there's all different colors of wildflowers. What you're seeing in the front, I think, is mostly hemlock. And then the redwoods in the back. To me, that's just, doesn't get more beautiful than that. I don't even know how to take pictures, and I take beautiful pictures because God's beauty is so stunning. It's like, you can't go wrong. Have you ever noticed that when you encounter something truly beautiful like that, sometimes you get tears in your eyes? Does that ever happen to you? Okay. For me, when I get tears in my eyes, I know I'm having like a God experience. I'm having a connection, a moment of recognizing God expressing as that thing. It's like my clue that I'm connected. Sometimes happens to me during prayer and meditation. All of a sudden, I get teary-eyed, and it's like, whoa, I've made that connection, you know? Yeah, so whenever I feel God's presence in a really strong way, I get those tears in my eyes. Similarly, when I see an incredible sunset or I lay my eyes on an impossibly humongous old redwood tree, or I watch a red-tailed hawk soaring on currents of warm air, I can also get teary-eyed from those things. It happened when I was up at Calaveras Big Trees, and Alexander and I hiked all the way out on this very long and very hot trail to get to the largest tree in the forest. I've talked about this before, and it was way out this trail, and every time we come around a bend, I'd be like, is that it? And it would be some big, huge tree, but still not the big one. You know, and we kept coming around, is that, no, that's humongous and gorgeous, but that's not it. And then finally we came around that last bend, and there it was. I felt like falling to my knees. That was the experience that it gave me, just so overwhelming. This thing is just so huge. Now, Marianne told me the other day that those are little compared to some of the other ones, which I've still got to go and check out. But it's that recognition of God's preferred love language, that beauty. And that recognition that through beauty, God is in a way speaking to me, not in words, but in feelings, in emotions, in a sense of awe and wonder. And it's common for us, right, when we encounter beauty in God's creation to experience that sense of awe and wonder. Now, sometimes it may be twinged with even a little bit of mystery, right, when we have that awe. And sometimes even incomprehension, like how, have you seen the Grand Canyon? That's awe and wonder mixed with mystery and incomprehension, like how, just how, you know? Now, you don't have to explain it to me, Kay. She's like, over millions of years, there was a river. It's still, I prefer to be in the awe and wonder of like, how is that possible? It's just water. Oh, how about the night sky? How could there be so many billions of stars? How? It's just, it blows the mind. Well, we humans like that feeling of having our mind blown, of being awed. Do you remember a couple years ago, I found this book and I did a little series on awe and wonder? And it turns out this gentleman that did a bunch of research on it, that he's a happiness specialist. He goes into companies and teaches people how to be happy. And he did all this research and he found out that people were happiest when they were experiencing awe and wonder. We like that. It's just built into us as human beings. That's why I love to go hiking, right? And so that sense of awe and wonder is directly connected to human happiness and to our own sense of purpose and inspiration. And when we regularly have opportunities to be in awe and wonder, we become happier beings and also more connected with meaning, with the meaning of our lives. In fact, you may notice that when you experience a deep sense of awe or wonder, it may be pointing you towards some aspect of your own purpose. So pay attention to that. I think it's also because those experiences of awe and wonder, like, let's face it, human beings are we're kind of self-centered. Like, I go around all day long thinking about me, right? But when we see the Grand Canyon or a redwood tree, we get to have that feeling of something greater than us. Turns out human beings like that too. Things that make us feel small in comparison. I think it takes that weight off. I'm not the center of the universe, and thank God I'm not. Right? And again, it's very connected, those feelings, with a sense of our own meaning and purpose. So experiences of beauty, of awe, they don't just feel good, they're actually good for us. Now, just as God creates beauty through God's creation, we human beings also create beauty through our own creations, right? We do this in all kinds of ways, through paintings and sculpture, architecture, photography, through music, through poetry. Have you ever seen a piece of art that brought tears to your eyes? Have you ever heard a piece of music that brought tears to your eyes? Now, I was supposed to play a piece of music for you today, but when I got here and opened the CD player, the CD, what do you call it? Jacket thing? The CD wasn't in there. How many of you are familiar with Handel's water music? Oh, it goes dun 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 dun. Oh my, go home and listen to it. Go home and listen to it. Or even in the car. It's so spectacular. There's something about, now you probably have your piece of music that does that for you. For some reason, it's Handel. I can't handle it. I can't even handle it. But Handel does, it's the Baroque. I don't know what it is. But it's just so beautiful. And it just moves us, right? And I think that we human beings are naturally compelled to express ourselves through beauty, again, because we recognize beauty as that universal love language of both God and of humans. We create beauty because we are beauty. It's an expression of love towards God and toward the rest of creation. Now, we don't just create beautiful things, we create beauty through our actions. And again, I was going to play a clip for you, but that didn't work out. But have you ever watched a movie or a video or something that gave you those tears of awe? I'm not saying tears like when the dog dies. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that awe when somebody does something really magnificent in a movie. I don't know if you remember, a few years ago there was a video that went around of a man who encountered a homeless man who had no shoes on. And that's the clip I was going to play for you. Maybe I'll attach it to our Facebook page. The man took off his shoes and gave them right to the homeless man and went walking down the sidewalk with no shoes on. That brought tears to my eyes. You know, just that willingness to just literally give the shoes right off your feet. And we've all seen things like that. Again, those acts touch us because we somehow recognize that act as that universal love language of beauty. I've heard it said that we are closest to the Creator when we are creating. Have you heard that before? People who are artists and such. There's lots of different types of creating. It's not just art. When I write a sermon, that's a creative act, right? And that's when we are closest to the Creator, because we are, at our core, creators just as God is creator. We create, God creates. We create out of that same universal love language of beauty. There's something in us that recognizes beauty as the voice of God because it moves us. And because we speak that love language of beauty also, we can use it to speak to God and to one another. When you feel struck by beauty, that teary-eyed, awe, that breathlessness. It's an indicator that Spirit may be speaking to you. So pay attention and listen to that. What is Spirit saying to you in that moment? Is Spirit asking you to slow down and notice things? To pay attention? To notice the small things? Or to notice something that you maybe were going to just pass right by? To be more mindful, more present? Or is Spirit just expressing its boundless love for you and for all of creation? Allow yourself to receive that message of love when you see beauty. Now, the mystics have always understood the connection between beauty and love. Hildegard of Bingen was a Benedictine abbess who lived during the early part of the 11th century. And from a very young age, Hildegard began having visions from like the age of 3. And in her vision, she saw lots of things, but one of the things she saw was a being that called itself the living light. And she saw humans as living sparks coming out from that being, from God, just like daylight comes from the sun. Hildegard also saw beauty and sacredness in nature. And she saw the harmony of God's creation and humanity's place within it. And she saw that as a unitive state, what the mystics typically call a unitive state, which we in Unity call oneness. That sense, that feeling that everything is interconnected. That we're not alone, that we're connected to everyone and everything else. And Hildegard also believed that all of creation was infused with divinity. Listen to how she describes the divine. I'm the fiery life of the essence of God. I am the flame above the beauty in the fields. I shine in the waters. I burn in the sun, the moon, and the stars. And with the airy wind, I quicken all things vitally by an unseen, all-sustaining life. A woman way ahead of her time. Rumi, the 13th century Persian poet, also viewed beauty as a profound reflection of divine love and also of inner self-awareness as this universal force surrounding us. And so Rumi's teachings often emphasize that recognizing beauty in others is like a mirror of our own inner value and virtue. Right? So when we see beauty, it's because we have that same thing in us. Beauty recognizes beauty. And Rumi taught that true, lasting beauty resides in the heart rather than in the physical form. So we can see from what the mystics taught that there is a strong connection between beauty and love. And I believe that when God is speaking through that preferred love language of beauty, God is also expressing God's deep and abiding love for creation. Now, I've shared this story with you before, but it was one of those aha moments I had, so I'm going to share it again. In seminary, we were given an assignment to go out in nature and sit and just observe nature for a while, and then to ask ourselves, where did all this come from? And then we were supposed to go home and write about it. So I went to the frog pond, which has been closed for about 1,000 years now, but used to go there a lot, the frog pond in Delray Oaks, and I sat down in that little redwood grove that they have there, and I just observed nature. And it must have been spring because I was near a bush with flowers, and I was watching the bee going from flower to flower to flower. And I was just mesmerized, and so I was asking myself, where did all this come from? And it was all so beautiful and perfect. It's hard to explain, but it's one of those mystical moments that you have where you kind of see almost like invisible threads connecting everything and like everything working together. The bee, how does the bee know where to go? You know, how does she know what to do? And the flower, how is the flower so perfect? You know, so intricate and perfect. The conclusion I came to, is that only love could have created something so perfect and intricate and beautiful. That forever decided the question for me about whether God is neutral or God is good and love. And to me, it has to be love, because anything other than love could not have brought that forth. Now, you have to have your own moment of realization, but that was it for me. I had that moment of understanding that deep connection between beauty and love, that God loves things by becoming them. That is an act of love when God brings forth from itself the bees, the flowers, the redwood trees, everything that we see around us. That beauty is an act of love. And because beauty is an expression of the divine, it's meant to touch our hearts, right? It's meant to awaken that wonder in us and to point us towards something greater. Seems to me, for this reason, that beauty is perhaps what we are needing today more than ever. Because beauty is an antidote to all of the disillusionment and the depression and the apathy that is out there. You can't be beholding beauty and apathy at the same time. It's just not possible. So when you're feeling that disillusionment and that apathy and that, what is happening? Time to go out and seek out beauty, wherever that is. It could be in art or music or my preferred in nature. But beauty is all around. If you do that, that beauty will inspire you. It will reinvigorate you. And it will help connect you with your purpose and help restore that vital energy, those vital energies that are getting sucked out of us right now because of all the things that are happening. And the thing about beauty is that beauty is affected by the lens through which we look at it, right? So if we go into the world and we look with eyes that are looking for beauty, we will find it in everyone and everything. The more we seek out beauty, the more we will learn to recognize it and see it and behold it. Now, I looked up the word beauty in the Revealing Word, which is Charles Fillmore's Metaphysical Dictionary, and he defined it as the loveliness of God beheld in God's creations by the eye of man. Now, we know when he says man, he really means woman. No, he means mankind, but even that's problematic. We just don't have the words, right? The loveliness of God beheld in God's creation by the eye of humans. And then he goes on to say, spiritual man beholds this divine loveliness everywhere. Spiritual man beholds the loveliness everywhere. So I believe what he means by that is that in order to see that beauty, we have to become spiritualized. We have to have elevated our consciousness to that spiritual level, to that frame of mind where we can see the beauty. And once we do that, we see it everywhere. I like to call it putting on our God glasses, right? So when we put on our God glasses, everything becomes beautiful. The tiniest insect on the trail, of the light coming in and hitting the tree branches, those intricate petals of those tiny little wildflowers. With our God glasses on, we see all of that as beautiful and amazing. Imagine if we could go through life like that. Wouldn't that be a more beautiful way to live? And of course, when we have our God glasses on and we're seeing beauty everywhere, we're going to start to see it not only in things, but in one another. And that is the true awakening, right? When we can see one another as beautiful expressions of God. So my invitation to you over the coming days is to consciously put on those God glasses. Consciously and intentionally commit to seeing with the eyes of beauty and wonder. Rather than just rushing about your days, which sometimes we have to do, take time to be just a little more mindful of the beauty that's all around you. And when you do encounter that beauty that moves you, stop for just a moment. Give it just a few moments and spend some time with it. Try not to just rush on to the next thing. Try to spend some time. I know it can be hard. Our lives are busy and we are so compelled. But I invite you to slow down just enough that you can really see and feel the beauty all around you, and let it move you. Let it bring tears to your eyes. Let it wash away that disillusionment and that apathy. And see if you can receive that beautiful thing as a message from God, as a communication from Spirit. What is Spirit saying to you? And don't complicate it, because sometimes all Spirit is saying is, I'm here. Look at me. See me. So let the beauty that you encounter speak to you. Let it inspire you. And let it connect you more deeply with God, with the world around you, and with yourself.
God before me, God behind me, to the left and the right. God above me, God below me, all around and inside. God before me, God behind me, to the left and the right. God above me, God below me, all around and inside. All around and inside. All around and inside.
So as we begin to settle into this place where we know that Spirit is above us, below us, in front of us and behind us, where we know that that love of Spirit is all around us and inside. So just bringing your awareness into this present moment, and without making it complicated, just becoming aware that you're here. Here in this perfect, sacred moment. You're here by divine appointment to become aware of the now. Letting go of all the outer and just letting your focus rest gently on your breath as you gently inhale and gently exhale. Each breath bringing you more and more into the present moment, into that loving presence of Spirit. And in this place, I invite you to open your heart to the beauty that is available to us all the time. Commit to having eyes that see, ears that hear, that beauty that is the love language of God. And in this place of openness and receptivity, I give you today this blessing for beauty by the Irish poet John O'Donoghue. May the beauty of your life become more visible to you, that you may glimpse your wild divinity. May the wonders of the earth call you forth from all your small, secret prisons and set your feet free in the pastures of possibilities. May the light of dawn anoint your eyes that you may behold what a miracle a day is. May the liturgy of twilight shelter all your fears and darkness within the circle of ease. May the angel of memory surprise you in bleak times with new gifts from the harvest of your vanished days. May you allow no dark hand to quench the candle of hope in your heart. May you discover a new generosity towards yourself and encourage yourself to engage your life as a great adventure. May the outside voices of fear and despair find no echo in you. May you always trust the urgency and wisdom of your own spirit. May the shelter and nourishment of all the good you have done, the love you have shown, the suffering you have carried, awaken around you to bless your life 1,000 times. And when love finds the path to your door, may you open like the earth to the dawn and trust your every hidden color towards its nourishment of light. May you find stillness and silence to savor the kiss of God on your soul and delight in the eternity that shaped you, that holds you, and that calls you. And may you know that despite confusion, anxiety, and emptiness, your name is written in heaven. And may you come to see your life as a quiet sacrament of service, which awakens around you a rhythm where doubt gives way to the grace of wonder, where what is awkward and strained can find elegance, and where crippled hope can find wings, and torment enter at last unto the grace of serenity. May divine beauty bless you. And so I invite you to receive these blessings deep into your heart as you rest for a moment in the silence. May divine beauty bless you.
God before me, God behind me, to the left and the right.
now gently preparing to bring this time to a close, we allow our hearts to be filled with gratitude for the beauty of God and that beauty of creation that is all around us. And we commit ourselves to having eyes to see. And so we give thanks for these lessons, for these teachings, for this community that supports us in our spiritual growth. And we give thanks to God. We say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Amen.
We've come to that time in our service where we get to participate actively in the flow of God's good in the world with our tithes and our wishes and our hopes and our prayers. Unity of Monterey Bay is the collective consciousness and commitment of all of us who give of our time, our treasure, and talent in order to sustain this spiritual community that is dedicated to transforming lives. We know that prosperity is a state of mind that finds blessings in every situation and abundance in joyous generosity. We transform all appearances of fear or lack into faith-filled peace of mind by shifting our attention to thoughts of gratitude for the abundance of God's good in our lives. Well, with such an inspiring talk, of course I have a little story. The talk reminded me of a little story. Howard and I have 11 grandchildren. I actually thought I'd never have children, so this falls in the category, if you want to make God laugh, tell it your plan for your life. But I digress. That's not the story. All of these grandchildren are magnificently beautiful in my eyes. Physically, spiritually, their paths, they are all equally beautiful. In the eyes of the world, however, there is one, a granddaughter, who is jaw-dropping. So physically beautiful that people stop talking when she enters a room. Fortunately, she's largely unaware of this, but I know that, as Michelle reminded us, unless we see beauty and then go deeper and deeper and deeper, we aren't really seeing all the beauty at all. If you see a beautiful lake and all you see is the shining water on the surface, you might be willing to drain it and destroy all the living things inside it. And so with this jaw-dropping, beautiful granddaughter, I pray that people who observe that beauty go deeper and deeper and deeper. You know, I suspect her happiness, maybe her life itself, depends on that. Ushers, please come forward. As the ushers now come forward, I invite you to think of something specific you're grateful for in this moment. And now, with our hearts and minds overflowing with gratitude, we breathe into the divine flow of God's good, trusting that we are enough, that we have enough, and that there always is enough both to have and share. For those of you who give online or through our website, have set up monthly auto payments with your bank, or give by credit card, we are grateful. We ask that you join us in faith and gratitude as we pass the offering baskets this morning by holding and blessing the basket as it passes to you. And now, please join me in our offertory blessing. I am an open channel for God's infinite good, divine love flowing through me, blesses and multiplies everything I give and everything I receive. I am both blessed and a blessing. Thank you, God.
Now that we're finally here, with the hour and the moment
moment so near, something so beautifully clear has found its way into my heart. Something I need to say in the sunshine that's come here to stay. Though eternity takes us away, it never can take us apart. Can you just feel my love? Don't you feel my love? Can't you feel my love take you away? 'Cause I can feel your love, I feel it lift me up. I can feel your love take me away. There's an ocean of love around us, and we tried to hide, but it's found us. It's waiting to rush in and drown us at the sound of a beckoning call. So I think we should sing for the happiness this hour brings, 'cause a song is a powerful thing when it comes from the love of us all. Can you just feel my love? Don't you feel my love? Can't you feel my love take you away? 'Cause I can feel your love, I feel it lift me up. I can feel your love take me away. Can't you just feel my love? Don't you feel my love? Can't you feel my love take you away? 'Cause I can feel your love, I feel it lift me up. I can feel your love take me away. I can feel your love take me away. Okay, so COPA has set up an opportunity to participate and influence our state government policy regarding the funding of Medi-Cal. All right? It is this Tuesday, May 19th, and I'm sorry for the late notice, but they are funding a bus to go to Sacramento. All right? And they're going to meet face-to-face with government officials. So a group of leaders will meet with the chairperson of the State Assembly, Robert Rivas, with Senator Laird and Representative Don Addis, declaring our support for continued funding of Medi-Cal for all. All right? Another group will attend the budget hearing regarding Medi-Cal and hear public comment. I know some of us went to Sacramento on a similar trip. I myself can't go, but it is a wonderful experience. It is an all-day event. A bus is leaving out of Salinas. And it is empowering to speak to officials and their staff, and it is an opportunity to ride in the bus with our fellow citizens from Salinas and South County and get to know each other and hear our life stories. Yeah.
Can you share about last time, the effect that it had with the people meeting with them? When they were trying to make the fund, what was it, $100 per person? And by the time we left, it was 15.
Yeah, last time the budget was that everybody would, not just everybody, the undocumented would pay $100 a month for Medi-Cal. And we've got it, they decided that day to put it $30 a month for undocumented. And I don't know if that's in stone yet. They're threatening to pull the funding completely for people without papers. So this is what we're trying to influence. So a good chance to influence local and state politics. Any questions, see me, okay? Or if you want to participate, see me and I'll hook you up. All right? Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. All right, that's it for our announcements. If you're not on our e-blast already, you can fill out the little form in your pew to get on the e-blast, which also has all of this information in it and what's going on at our church. So as we bring our service to a close this morning, we're just so glad that you joined us. Whether you're here in person with us or you're watching on Facebook Live or tuning in later on our YouTube channel, we're just so glad that you found us, and we hope that we made you feel comfortable in our Unity community. And we want you to know, most importantly, that wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. Our prayer chaplain today is Jan. She is available to pray with you after the service. So thank you, Jan, and thank you to all of our prayer chaplains for holding the high watch for our community. All right, before we perform our closing circle, let's do our responsive reading for our nation. We believe in the sacred potential of our country and the divine intelligence guiding its path.
We affirm that wisdom, compassion, and justice are rising in the hearts of all people.
In a world that cries out for healing, we listen deeply for spiritual truth.
We open to the wisdom that leads to wholeness for all.
We do not surrender to fear, division, or despair.
We anchor ourselves in faith, courage, and shared humanity.
We call forth leaders who are guided by integrity and vision.
We affirm solutions that uplift both personal freedom and collective care.
May this nation grow in love, unity, and awakening.
And may we each be instruments of peace, justice, and joy.
And all the people said, Amen. From our closing circle. So if there is anyone that is on your heart this morning that is especially in need of prayer, I invite you to either call out their name into the circle or just say it softly to yourself so that we can hold these dear ones in this circle of blessing.
Joanne.
So
surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. And the presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as Creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with
I know. Look at you back at church.
When I walked in, I saw the beauty.
You saw
I
what?
saw the beauty.
Aww.